Now very gently finding a posture, allowing yourself gently to relax, and I will allow the camera to move towards Darren. If you want to do the poses, it will enable you to follow those level of instructions to actually unfollow. So there is nothing personal about it. So finding a pose that is allowing you to gently relax and become into that space of you're allowing your breath to move in and move out. And you allow that thought, imagination, desire to just float, not become personal about it. And so remember, yoga is not a desire or a thought or a memory or a dream or imagination. So take that deep breath in and allow the space of what you call the body to feel that. And whatever is there, the clouds, the thoughts, they're just moving through that. Now, who is watching? Witness cannot be a desire. It's not imagination. It's not any thought. It's passing in front of witness. The only way to know the witness is to now let go and drop the content. Utterly space, empty. Now the capacity is turning on to see you. Upon yourself, and that is the highest purity. Elevate that space of the heart. Now, only that moment can give you the aliveness, the energy of life. The life is present. Life is breathing. Life is beating in that heart, all parts of the cells. Parts exist in the whole, not because you have taken a side. There is no intellectual dissect in this practice. There is no analyzing. You have let go of that instrument of logic. Good and bad is that instrument of religion or institution. The yoga means the space to join. The God is in totality. Nature is in totality, without separation. Breath is in totality of in and out. So don't make this to object of your realization, because it's a presence. When everything are functioning in great harmony, whether it's a body, whether it's a breathing, whether it's a movement, whether it's the blood, whether it's the neuropaths, together, togetherness. The moment you go into a desire or a thought or a content, you dissect it. The moment you are engaging into right and wrong, the presence is gone. What makes you alive, what makes you connect to that space is the whole. So find that things are bothering you, dissecting you, and try not to give that energy into that space. Elevate your vibration into higher whole. Something that the vibration is so high, you can release and dissolve those things that no longer serve you. Imagination, desire, the content, past, future. Presence is a note in the harmony of the whole. Once you come into that space, very gently take that deep breath in, palms onto the Namaskar position. Coming into that space of that deep realization, the reality is arising. Energies are moving together. They're not separating. Now take that deep breath in, interlacing the fingers, palms facing into the front. Gently stretch up to the ceiling. Very gently get that elongation and the communion in the spine. Get that great unity and expand that unity. Now you have become a part of greater unity, not because you are part of the unity. You are the greater unity. Stretch the body into the right side, very gently pulling the left, opening up that rib cage, breathing in back to the center, onto the other side. Breathing in back to the center. Spread the wings and twist the spine to the right. Opening up that space of the chest. Allow the breath to bring that space of peace. The lila, the dance. And now the space and the silence is in the space of vibration. Turiya, singing. innermost realization. Breathing in back to the center, shoulders relax and chest open. Change the leg formation. Arms raise onto the crown. Interlacing the fingers, holding onto the right wrist and stretching towards the left. Breathing in back into that center, onto the other side, opening up that space of the ribs, articulation of the spine. Breathing in back to the center, shoulders relax and twisting the spine to the left on the out breath. Releasing the tension of the individuality or become identity. Breathing in back to the center, very gently breathing out and collapsing the spine into a seated cat. Breathing in and surrender into that space, very gently coming into the cow. Breathing out into the space of the cat. Let that body, let that mind, let that breath obey into the inner space of your light. You're not forced. You're not following any from the outside. Now, there is an individuality in this, but it is not separated. It's not political. It's not educational. Breathing in back into the center, shoulders relax, chest open, lift up the space of the heart. You're not depending on your safety anymore, security anymore, respectability anymore, not to power, not to prestige, not to your ego. Now take that deep breath in and very gently walk those palms into the front. Drop the elbows. Try to keep the buttocks on the floor. And very gently take that space. Very gently taking a posture that is healthy for this moment, Neck and head relax. Move the head into the front. Stretch the chin. Breathe out, roll the chin back. Very gently. Move the head side to side, releasing any tension that might be obsessed in that space of the body. Whether it's relationship, finance, whatever the identity is. Releasing the shadows of the body, chasing even in the night, chasing when you're even sitting. You feel quite not satisfied because you have not encountered your real self, your authenticity, your real individuality, not the identity. purification, so that you can be light unto yourself, not looking at the light what others are promising. Breathing in, very gently coming back. Shoulders relaxed and chest open. Very gently bring the knees to the chest, knees together. Breathing in, arms raised onto the ground, feet stretch up to the ceiling. Breathe out, knees to the chest. Keep that chin up, shoulders roll back. Breathing in. Breathe out. Release the tension of that personality. Breathing in. Breathe out. Breathing in. Breathe out. Knees to the chest. Very gently crossing the legs. Twisting the spine to the left. Releasing the tension of that personality. And very gently come into the realization of your own authenticity. Let's call it individuality. Personality is a creator of barriers. So very gently connecting into that space of your being. Before someone told you you're this, you're that, that. That's social phenomena. Take a deep breath in, change the leg formation and twist the spine to the right. Very gently releasing. Why is there a personality? It only can exist in reference to others. And then it has desire, the name, the fame, respect, and your personality becomes strengthened. So the personality becomes strengthened, you have separated from the truth, and after separating from your truth, you have so much of problems. Breathing in back to the center. Shoulders relax and chest open. Now very gently walk the palms into the front, comes onto the knees, into a space of the cat. Completely breathe out. You're renouncing the moment, nothing else. The moment, now you have moved from the moment, you have kind of a realization to see it. Drop the belly, taking a deep breath in, opening up that chest. Tongue roll up onto the upper palate, energy gaze onto the space of the unity. Breathe out, anus lock, navel lock, throat lock. This might be, for some of you, the only contact that you're having with your being. When you have only a little time for your being, you're confined to your personalities. Neutral spine. Take a deep breath in. Push the bum into the back. Breathe out. Right back. Palms facing up. So what you're lacking is not that personality to fulfill you, but that realization that has been destroyed. And instead of that, you are given a personality to carry throughout your life. Birth certificate, living address, bank account, this account, that account, very gently observe and try to connect into that vibration of your being. Palms facing down, crawling and bringing the chest into the front, breathing in into a gentle up phase, just to start with, so that the gravitation is allowing you to also to stretch against the gravitation. Overlooking onto the left side, furthermore into the back, breathing in back into the center, onto the other side. Breathing in, back to the center, onto the knees, and stretch the spine. Now, instead of becoming part of the fashion, becoming part of what is trending, very easy to become that. Because at that very moment, you don't have any level of a realization or a responsibility to your space of the being. Now very gently take a deep breath in, palms facing down, crawling, and very gently dropping into the Bhujangasana, breathing into a gentle cobra, maybe the elbows on to the floor, creating that space. The crowd, the noise, it might give you a false feeling that you're secure. Truth of the realization has nothing to do with that. To attain, you have to be in that space of that individuality, not as an identity. So that the Buddha attained, Jesus attained, Muhammad attained. That is a deep space of realization, a meditative state. So you are no longer obsessed by the others or what others are doing, what others are this or that. You're alone. You're drowning into your own responsibility of the consciousness and reaching into the space of the truth. Eye of the truth. The crowd, the information keeps you away from yourself, from this space. Now I'm breaking it, all those inquiries. Otherwise, a word can be used against. Now take a deep breath in, gently coming into the flow and relax onto the flow. Now take a deep breath in, arms stretched into the back, soften the hips. Now take a deep breath in, interlacing the fingers. Push the hips down, elongate the legs, and breathing in and lift up the chest. Shoulders relax. Breathing in. Let that breath be the motive of the movement. Breathe out and relax onto the floor. Now reaching onto the ankles, take that deep breath in. coming into the pose of the Bo Dhanurasana, breathing in and very gently coming up into the pose. When you become part of something because of the training, you drop your individuality, you drop your truth. At that very moment, it's very dangerous. Heels closer to the buttocks and use your thumb and activate that acupressure on the feet, wherever that is. Wherever that is easily can be pushed and activate. Very gently take a moment and release the legs onto the floor. Now take a deep breath in and left leg up, higher as possible, up, and very gently turn it onto the right side as much as possible. Now very gently take a deep breath out and bring the left knee onto the chest. Now take a deep breath in and very gently allow that pause and releasing the body from that state of mob. And very gently bringing that space back into that. Now observe what subtle ways that you have been destroying yourself. Now take a deep breath in and very gently stretch that left leg onto the left side as much as possible. Now take a deep breath in, palms onto the chest level, and very gently raising the energy up into a gentle cobra on the upper body. If you can, best is from the elbows. And very gently creating space for you to return back from the forced of this or that, right and wrong, black and white, good and bad. And the mechanism to behave like this is now also very gently slowing down. Breathing in very gently, coming back. Knee to the chest. And very gently stretch the leg back. Now very gently take a deep breath in and right leg up as much as possible. Higher, higher, higher. Open up the space of the back. Right foot over the left as much as possible. On a deep breath in and breath out. Right knee onto the right chest. Right leg stretch onto the right side as much as possible. As much as possible. Take a deep breath into a upper torso, into a Bhujangasana. And this mind that was yours now belongs to a group, belongs to a force. So very gently, when you realize this, the more you come into the moment, almost you have lost your mind. So Now who you are really is with you, not in the crowd. You're discovering. The greatest adventure that can happen, the greatest gift that can happen, the person is coming into its own individuality. Because we are very social. In that socialization, we get lost into others and agendas of the others. Now, very gently, when you start thinking about the way they are asking you to think, very gently, knee to the chest, stretch the leg back, releasing the tension. Now soften the hips. Now take a deep breath in. Arms stretch into the back, onto the floor, palms facing down, coming into the pose of the locust. Take a deep breath in, both legs stretch up. So the chest down as much as possible. Only the legs up without tightening your hamstrings. Now take a deep breath in and drop. Palms onto the chest level, breathing into an up face. Shoulders relax and chest open. Breathe out very gently into a space of the knees onto the down face. Shoulders totally relax and just open. And head and neck is relaxing, releasing the tension. Bending one knee at a time. Allow the practice to be throbbing with that realization. Blessings from that realization. You don't need anything. You don't have any time for that game. The energy that pouring from your realization and with your goodness. Energy that creates the harmony in the body, stop being unwell and become part of healing, become part of poetry, become part of beauty, become part of fragrance. Now very gently take a deep breath in and lifting up onto the toes. Breathe out, push the heels down. Breathing in, lifting up onto the toes, bending the knees, bringing those knees onto the lower ribs and onto the down face. Now take a deep breath in, left leg up into the back, left knee onto the left chest, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back, left knee onto the left elbow, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back, left knee onto the right elbow, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back, left foot into the front. Arms stretch into the back, interlacing the fingers, shoulders release up, 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 up. If you can, interlace. Breathing in, arms raise onto the ground. Take a deep breath in, interlacing the fingers, straighten the knee. Breathe out, bending the knee, sitting deeper. Breathing in, straightening the front knee, pull the belly in. Breathe out, sitting bit more deeper. Palms onto the Namaskar position. Shoulders relax and chest open. Take a deep breath in, turning the body onto the right side. Taking a deep breath in now, very gently listen. Breathe out, twisting the spine to the left side, elbow past the knee. If that is harder, you don't have to pass the knee. Right arm can reach down and left arm can reach up. Extending very gently the body in the form of the leg, form of the. Now take a deep breath in, sit deeper. Left arm reaching into the back, touch the floor. Drop the back knee onto the floor, holding onto the front knee. Push the hips forward and backward a few times, very gently. Soften the feet, releasing that tension. Now take a deep breath in. Arms raised onto the ground, interlacing the fingers, palms facing up. Breath out, spreading the wings wider, breathing in 6 deep cycles of breath. Now you're creating the energy. You're not borrowing energy. You're not borrowing the energy from the surface. Palms onto the floor. Into a plank. Stronger on the pelvic floor. Breathe out towards the down face. Breathing in into a plank. Breathe out towards the down face. Breathing in into a plank. Breathe out towards the down face. Breathing in into a plank. Breathe out towards the down face. Right leg up into the back. Right knee to the right chest. Breathe out. Breathing in. Right knee to the right elbow. Breathe out. Come forward. Breathing in, switch back. Right knee onto the left elbow. Breathe out. Breathing in, switch back. Right foot into the front. Arms stretch into the back, interlacing the fingers. Arms rest onto the ground, interlacing the fingers. Take a deep breath in, straightening the front knee. Breath out, sit deeper. Breathing in, straightening the front knee. Breath out, sitting deeper. Breathing in, straightening the front knee. Breathe out, sitting deeper. Palms onto the pranayama position. Take a deep breath. Observe, observe. Observe. Take a deep breath in, turning into the left. Take a deep breath out, twisting the spine towards the right. Elbow past the knee. Take a deep breath in, left arm reaching onto the floor, right arm reaching up to the ceiling. Observe. 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 Right reaching into the back, touch. Take a deep breath in, bending the back knee, holding onto the front knee. Take a deep breath in, warm up, and push the hips forward and backward. Very gently taking the present moment, the benevolence and the blessing of the present moment. Very gently connecting into the source within. Source within is not force on the surface. When you're forcing things onto the surface, it's violent. Force is the interference. It is trespassing onto the freedom of the others. Source is love, but not a force. Source is healing, healing energy. It's a fragrance that reaches to you very silently and not making any noise. If you're sharing the noise of the fragrance, then it's not a fragrance. It's shouting. And this realization does not force you to receive it. It's just there. It is your birthright to be connected. Take a deep breath in, arms raised onto the ground. 6 deep cycles of breath. Becomes more and more of the truth. When you allow through the practice, when you allow through no conditions, into a plank. Stronger on that pelvic floor. Breathe out towards the down face. Breathing in into a plank. Breathe out towards the down face. Breathing in into a plank. Breathe out towards the down face. Breathing in into a plank. Drop the knees. Rotate the hips widely and give that space of the digestion, releasing the tension. Releasing the tension of the mind that has occupied a lot of information and holding this space by trespassing into these spaces of digestion onto the other side. Stretch the spine into the back, palms facing up. Now you have to observe what has the personalities have created. The radiance of the energy field is disappeared. There is force. The truth is gone. The love is gone. But manuals and laws have entered into the life. Force has entered into the life. You have to be very conscious because the difference is very subtle. That's why most of the time the education doesn't allow you to see this subtleness. And this subtleness, now we have seen this, what was once was a sword, now its technology has moved it into a level of weapons, nuclears. This is the time for you to observe and grow into that mystery, more of the unknown space. What create that space to open up into something much more transcendental? Allowing people to merge into the truth, merge into the moment. Because there is no business in here. Otherwise, we love people. When we get married to people, we lose that love. We habitually kiss our partners, but there's no one behind those lips. So we have to observe this deep synchronicity with existence itself, with everything. When we become forced by things, we lose this. People might call it, it's busy life, new world. Now into a child pose. Knees together. Crown of the head onto the floor, close to the knees. And lifting up the buttocks very gently to activate the force, the sense of that awakening of the crown. Roll back to the third eye, fist on the third eye. The greatest miracle that exists, to see beyond the space of the eyes. Wake up the spine one vertebra at a time when you have that realization. Very gently take a deep breath in, lifting up onto the knees. Elevate the hips, create the space, more buoyance for the kidneys. Left arm reaching up to the ceiling, up to the buttocks. Right arm reaching up into the space of the buttocks. If this is the space of your trasanas, stay there. If you want to lift up the heels and use a block or a bolster, you can perform the Purna Uttrasana, the space of the candle. Even one side very gently stretching. And when you're ready, you don't have to force it. Very gently hold the buttocks and very gently go back to the space of the child pose. Very gently now you can see the practice is becoming away from the ego. You're not making the practice special. You're not making the practice unique. Now the ordinariness of the practice is very unique. You're coming into the simplicity. Because nobody wants to be simple. Everyone wants to be complicated. Everyone wants to be extraordinary. This is the way the personality knows. Suddenly now, wake up the spine because you discover without forcing, you have become that space of the uniqueness. Wake up the spine one vertebra at a time. Take this moment, palms facing up. Stop that running. Take that deep breath and embrace that uniqueness, ordinariness. At this very moment, try not to invent anything. Just allow what is there to be there. The only way to be is being. You don't have to change anything. Every breath that is breathing is unique. There is no other way to be than accepting. It's okay if two breaths are not identical. It's okay that there is no need to be somebody. You have creates a space to see yourself. Suddenly there is a uniqueness in that energy. There is no need to attain. It is attaining. No need to find the meanings of word. There is no trying. So the mind is absent. Suddenly what you want to discover has discovered you. You're not inventing it. How could you invent something that is in you? Your practice has exposed that to the existence. It's in your very being. It's in your core of the being. You just close the eyes and you allow yourself to see yourself. You have just stopped. You're resting, you're witnessing. Taking a deep breath in, arms raise onto the crown. Let your hands spread that energy that the surface of your being is taking in the space of the material. Spreading that space and love and realization into what has been manifested from the core of your being. Palms under the Namaskar position of that realization. Self, bowing down to the self. Touch the earth, respect for the elements of the Apo, Tejo, Vayu, Patavi. Earth particles, air particles, water particles, heat particles. That is in harmony. May this space and the realization be felt where it's needed most, without agenda. Gently coming out of that physical practice, palms onto the Namaskar position, that realization kept throughout. Namaste.